HarperCollins presents The Mother Project, Making It to Parenthood the Very Long Way Round. Written and read by Sophie Beresiner. For Marley, you found me, in the end, by whatever means you were always going to. Prologue. This time last decade, I was everything I needed to be. Only just 30, new boyfriend after a 4-year relationship hiatus. Thank Christ, said my concerned ovaries. Becoming someone in an industry that is notoriously hard to break into, and with wonderful hair that refused to cooperate in the best way possible. In fact, I began 2010 celebrating my 30th birthday in a cottage with 5 of my friends. We were playing a last decade board game called A Question of Scruples, while we drank as much alcohol as our livers would allow. Ha! We drank way more than that. We were only 30 once after all. The game basically posed moral dilemmas on life, work, love, etc., and players would guess each other's responses to win points. My new boyfriend picked a card from the deck and read aloud to his new audience, "What would you do if you found out your girlfriend was infertile?" I should add a caveat here that his nickname was Dad Jokes, and so, in an overexerted effort to be funny, he yelled, "Leave her!" Lol? He wasn't hugely popular with my female friends that evening, and the men let him off with a yellow card, relieved that it wasn't them this time delivering the lead balloon that would put them in the doghouse. And today it's okay, because we all still laugh about it. Because today I am infertile. Quite militantly so, in fact. And he didn't leave me, he married me. Probably to prove that he was joking after all, but maybe also because we fell madly in love. It was funny to him at the time precisely because it seemed so unlikely. Needless to say, I didn't spend my childhood imagining infertility for myself. But that's only the case until you end up on the wrong end of the fertility spectrum, do some research, and discover that it actually affects 1 in 7 couples and counting. Or talk to your friends about it and discover that their routes to parenthood have, almost without exception, been nowhere near as easy as our old textbooks would have had us believe. I certainly didn't expect to spend the entirety of my 30s battling cancer, regrowing my wonderfully uncooperative hair and then battling infertility, because, make no mistake, it is a battle of epic proportions. Only to flop into a whole new decade, 10 years older, wiser, totally different, and with the realisation that whatever happens next, I'll probably be aghast, appalled and amazed for the rest of all time. When I decided to write a regular Times newspaper column about my surrogacy journey, I hate that word, but there really is no other word that works as well as that one. It is because I was as interested in the journey, from the outside, as I was dreading it from the inside. The hurdles we have faced emotionally are still smarting, but good God, they're objectively interesting too. Writing in short recaps has led me to understand the breadth of the issues with women and our fertility. How perhaps reproducing is increasingly less compatible with our outrageously busy lives, and how in telling bits of my story I've helped others understand or accept theirs. With topics as divergent as infertility and surrogacy, there will always be questions, and I think I've probably heard them all. So here, for posterity, mine, and practicality, yours, I'd like to answer the big ones. The ones you've probably questioned about yourself once or twice, or your friend or colleague, maybe your sister or aunt, or maybe even me. Dealing with infertility isn't easy, but it is definitely possible. With bells on, in fact, because now that I'm here, I couldn't imagine it any other way. This is the story of my adventure. No, too rip-roaring. Of my experience? Nope, too emotionless. The story of my odyssey, way too ridiculously excessive. This is the story of my journey. I hope this telling, the in-depth one, the practical, pragmatic and personal one, will ultimately be a story of resilience and hope for anyone facing their own mother project. Chapter 1. How do you know you're infertile? Someone professionally straightforward tells you you're infertile, that's how you know. Perhaps in a medical facility of the standard nondescript variety, like this one I'm in right now. Nondescript, but already in the top 2 most hideous rooms I've ever sat in, nonetheless. Currently, I can't hear anything except the whooshing of my own blood. That happens sometimes when you're delivered earth-tiltingly bad news that you weren't really expecting. Unfortunately,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?